If you were asked to randomly list 5 countries in Africa, I bet you will list countries like Nigeria, South Africa, Kenya, or even Morocco. But did you know that Africa has 55 sovereign countries? Some of these countries just seem to be minding their own business that sometimes they go unnoticed. In this video, we shall shine the light on the least visited and talked about countries in Africa. These countries are not necessarily the worst countries in Africa, neither are they the smallest, but for some reason they don't seem to be getting enough media attention. Before we dive into the list, please take a few seconds and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any of our videos. 1. Sao Tome and Principe. Sao Tome and Principe is an island nation located in the Gulf of Guinea, off the coast of Central Africa. The country is made up of 2 main islands, Sao Tome and Principe, as well as several smaller islands and islets. Sao Tome and Principe was a Portuguese colony until it gained independence in 1975. Today, the country is a democratic republic with a developing economy that is heavily dependent on agriculture, particularly cocoa and coffee production. With a population of 201,800, Sao Tome and Principe is the second smallest and second least populous African sovereign state after Seychelles. The country has a total land area of 964 square kilometers. The islands of Sao Tome and Principe are known for their stunning natural beauty, including lush rainforests, pristine beaches, and rugged volcanic landscapes. The islands are also home to a diverse array of wildlife, including several endemic bird species and marine mammals, such as whales and dolphins. In addition to its natural beauty, Sao Tome and Principe is also known for its rich cultural heritage. The islands are home to a vibrant Creole culture that is a blend of African, European, and indigenous influences. The islands are also home to several historic landmarks, including colonial-era buildings and fortifications, as well as several museums and galleries that showcase the country's art and cultural traditions. Overall, Sao Tome and Principe is a unique and fascinating destination that offers visitors a glimpse into the natural beauty, cultural richness, and complex history of this small island nation. 2. Mauritania, officially the Islamic Republic of Mauritania. This country is a sovereign country in Northwest Africa. It is bordered by the Atlantic Ocean to the west, Western Sahara to the north and northwest, Algeria to the northeast, Mali to the east and southeast, and Senegal to the southwest. Mauritania is the 11th largest country in Africa and the 28th largest in the world, and 90% of its territory is situated in the Sahara. Most of its population of 4.4 million lives in the temperate south of the country, with roughly 1/3 concentrated in the capital and largest city, Nouakchott, located on the Atlantic coast. The official language is Arabic, and the country has a population of 4.6 million people. Its current president, Mohamed Ahmed Al Ghazouani, is the 9th president of Mauritania, who has been in office since 2019. Despite being rich in natural resources, Mauritania has a low GDP. A majority of the population still depends on agriculture and livestock for a livelihood. Even though most of the nomads and many subsistence farmers were forced into the cities by recurrent droughts in the 1970s and 1980s, Mauritania has extensive deposits of iron ore, which account for almost 50% of total exports. Gold and copper mining companies are opening mines in the interior. Oil was discovered in Mauritania in 2001 in the offshore Chinguetti field. Although potentially significant for the Mauritanian economy, its overall influence is difficult to predict. Mauritania has been described as a desperately poor desert nation, which straddles the Arab and African worlds, and is Africa's newest, if small-scale, oil producer. There may be additional oil reserves inland in the Tavadini Basin, although the harsh environment will make extraction expensive. 3. Lesotho. Lesotho is one of the only 3 surviving kingdoms in Africa, the other 2 being Morocco and Eswatini. Officially, the Kingdom of Lesotho is a country landlocked as an enclave in South Africa. It is situated in the Maloti Mountains and contains the highest mountains in southern Africa. It has an area of over 30,000 square kilometers and has a population of about 2 million. It was previously the British Crown colony of Basicoland, which was given independence by the United Kingdom on the 4th of October 1966. It is a fully sovereign state and is a member of the United Nations, the Commonwealth of Nations, the African Union, and the Southern African Development Community. Its current king Letsi III has been the king of Lesotho since 1996. Though entirely surrounded by South Africa, Lesotho is a beautiful country with rich culture. The economy of Lesotho is based on agriculture, livestock, manufacturing and mining, and depends on inflows of workers' remittances and receipts from the Southern African Customs Union. The majority of households subsist on farming. The formal sector employment consists mainly of female workers in the apparel sector, male migrant labor, primarily miners in South Africa for 3 to 9 months, and employment by the government of Lesotho. The country is generally very peaceful, which is why we don't get to hear much about it. 4. Guinea-Bissau. There are 3 Guineas in Africa: the Republic of Guinea, Equatorial Guinea, and Guinea-Bissau. Amongst these 3 Guineas, Guinea-Bissau is the least popular and least talked about. Sometimes people even forget that such a country exists. Guinea-Bissau is a country in West Africa that covers 36,125 square kilometers with an estimated population of 1,726,000 people. It borders Senegal to its north and Guinea to its southeast. Guinea-Bissau was once part of the Kingdom of Kabu, as well as part of the Mali Empire. Parts of this kingdom persisted until the 18th century, while a few others were under some rule by the Portuguese Empire since the 16th century. Guinea-Bissau has a population of about 2 million people who speak Portuguese as their official language. Guinea-Bissau's GDP per capita is one of the lowest in the world, and its Human Development Index is one of the lowest on Earth. More than 2/3 of the population lives below the poverty line. The economy depends mainly on agriculture. Fish, cashew nuts, and ground nuts are its major exports. A long period of political instability has resulted in depressed economic activity, deteriorating social conditions, and increased macroeconomic imbalances. It takes longer on average to register a new business in Guinea-Bissau, 233 days or about 33 weeks, than in any other country in the world except Suriname. 5. Comoros. Comoros is amongst the smallest countries in Africa, both in terms of land area and population. Officially the Union of the Comoros, Comoros is an independent country made up of 3 islands in southeastern Africa. Located at the northern end of the Mozambique Channel in the Indian Ocean, its capital and largest city is Moroni. The religion of the majority of the population and the official state religion is Sunni Islam. As a member of the Arab League, it is the only country in the Arab world which is entirely in the southern hemisphere. Comoros proclaimed their independence from France on July 6, 1975. It is also a member state of the African Union, the Organisation Internationale de la Francophonie, the Organization of Islamic Cooperation, and the Indian Ocean Commission. The country has 3 official languages: Shikomori, French, and Arabic. The country has a population of about 850,000 people. The level of poverty in the Comoros is high, but judging by the international poverty threshold of $1.09 per person per day, only 2 out of every 10 Comorians could be classified as poor, a rate that places the Comoros ahead of other low-income countries, and 30 percentage points ahead of other countries in sub-Saharan Africa. Poverty declined by about 10% between 2014 and 2018, and living conditions generally improved. Economic inequality remains widespread, with a major gap between rural and urban areas. Remittances through the sizable Comorian diaspora form a substantial part of the country's GDP and have contributed to decreases in poverty and increases in living standards. 6. Djibouti. Djibouti is a country in the Horn of Africa, bordered by Somalia to the south, Ethiopia to the southwest, Eritrea in the north, and the Red Sea and the Gulf of Aden to the east. The country has an area of 23,200 square kilometers and a population of slightly over 950,000 people. Its capital city is Djibouti, and its official languages are Arabic and French. Djibouti's economy is largely concentrated in the service sector. Commercial activities revolve around the country's free trade policies and strategic location as a Red Sea transit point. Due to limited rainfall, vegetables and fruits are the principal production crops, and other food items require importation. The GDP, purchasing power parity, in 2013 was estimated at $2,505 billion, with a real growth rate of 5% annually. Per capita income is around $2,874. The services sector constituted around 79.7% of the GDP, followed by industry at 17.3% and agriculture at 3%. Tourism in Djibouti is one of the growing economic sectors of the country, and is an industry that generates less than 80,000 arrivals per year, mostly the family and friends of the soldiers stationed in the country's major naval bases. Although the numbers are on the rise, there are talks of the visa on arrival being stopped, which could limit tourism growth. Infrastructure makes it difficult for tourists to travel independently, and costs of private tours are high. Since the reopening of the train line from Addis Ababa to Djibouti in January 2018, travel by land has also resumed. Djibouti's two main geological marvels, Lake Ab and Lake Assal, are the country's top tourist destinations. The two sites draw hundreds of tourists every year looking for remote places that are not visited by many. Thanks for watching this video. Which other country do you think should have made this list? Let us know in the comments, and we will continue the conversation from there. Also, do not forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notification so you don't miss any of our videos.